Who doesn't like chocolate chip cookies? One of my favorite treats, and I'm sure one of yours too, is a warm, gooey chocolate chip cookie with a cold glass of milk. Also, I really like batter right out of the bowl. Believe me, I know. One day I had this craving for cookies, and I just happened to stumble across a recipe in Martha Stewart's cookie cookbook. So today I would like to share that recipe for you, and I like to call it the best chocolate chip cookies ever. Don't be afraid of making chocolate chip cookies. Today the recipe is really quick and easy, and whether you're looking for cookies for a party or just a midnight snack, also they're great for the holidays, and Christmas is right around the corner. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. You may be asking yourself just exactly what ingredients you need for this recipe. So let me tell you. First, you're going to need 2 1/4 cups of flour. All-purpose flour works great. Next, you're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Arm & Hammer is awesome. 2 sticks of butter at room temperature. It says they prefer unsalted, but salted will work just as well. You need 1/2 cup of sugar. You can substitute Splenda. Also, you will need 1 cup of packed light brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla, 2 large eggs, and last but not least, 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Okay, so what we did is we put the flour and baking soda into one bowl and then mixed all the other ingredients besides the chocolate chips in another bowl. And what I'm going to do now is mix in the flour and baking soda mixture into the everything else mixture. That way you're just going to stir until everything's well blended. And then after we mix this, we'll mix in our 2 cups of chocolate chips. Okay, now that we're done mixing everything in, you should have a mixture that kind of looks like this and tastes pretty great. And while you were doing this, you should have had your oven preheating to 350 degrees and lined your baking sheets with wax paper. And we're going to go ahead and dollop about a 1/4 size drops onto the baking sheet. You can do 4 by 3 or whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, here's what our completed pan looks like. Again, we lined our baking sheet with wax paper, and I chose to do the 4 by 3 cookies, leaving about an inch and a half between each cookie, so when they bake, they do not stick together. The oven was preheating to 350 while we were doing this process. So we'll go ahead and stick the cookies on the middle rack. And then we will cook the cookies for 10 to 12 minutes. And halfway between, we should flip the cookies about 180 degrees just so that they evenly get baked. And then, most importantly, we just want to make sure that the cookies get golden brown. I like to make them a little gooey, so I tend to bake them around the 10-minute side, just depending on your preference. If you like crunchy cookies, then bake them to 12 minutes. Okay, I'm going to set the timer to about 10 minutes, and then I'll come back and check on them in 5 minutes and do the 180 flip that we talked about earlier. So we talked about earlier at the halfway point, we should flip our cookies about 180 degrees. Whoa, watch out for the steam. Free facial is also included. We'll just flip them. Looks like they're doing great. They smell great. And we'll just let them cook for another 5 or 6 minutes until they are golden brown around the edges. So let's wait another 5 minutes and see what happens. Okay, the timer's gone off. It's time to take our cookies out of the oven. They're nice golden brown. Still got a little goo in the middle, which is perfect. We will take them off of the baking pan, but leave them on the wax paper and let them cool. I'd say let them cool for at least 10, 15, 20 minutes. And they should be ready to eat. Like I said earlier, the cookies are great for the holidays with Christmas coming up. Great as gifts. I have a little cousin who actually likes to put them out for Santa Claus under the tree. I'm sure Santa really enjoys them. Also, they're great. I eat them for midnight snacks. So the next time you have a sweet tooth, I hope you remember the Martha Stewart chocolate chip cookie recipe. And don't forget to have your cold glass of milk ready.